Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Series 2 of Agent Carter. Today we're doing the third episode, Better Angels, as opposed to the Worst Angels, I guess.
Well, Agent Carter,
Brownie's angels.
she can be your angel or your devil, Dweebs.
Well, apparently she was not an angel to that poor scientist who seems to have died in the last episode.
He's a scientist in a major movie. I'm surprised he wasn't dead sooner.
Also, Whitney Frost is having her face crack like porcelain, but I'm sure that's of no consequence.
She might need to put
will be fine.
She might need to put a mask on.
All right, Dweebs, where should we start?
Just before the Marvel logo crops up. 3, 2, 1, go.
Also, silly Jova, don't you know? You just need to put Bulene, like in the fucking Catwoman movie.
Oh,
Of course. Shame that if you stop using it, your face apparently gets destroyed, but if you keep using it forever, you're invincible!
You become marble, even though it's so bizarre because the character of Sharon Stone in Catwoman movie feels more like it's the equivalent of an AI generated script basing itself off of the backstory of Clayface. It gets a couple of things right, but so many wrongs at the same time. Anyway, not the time.
So yeah, again, things have not been turning out the best in Los Angeles, go figure.
What else is new? Ha 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 ha.
It's radioactive! That can't be good!
I'm sure it's fine. Consume it.
Oh yes, this is a superhero show technically, so you know what's in the contract. The character that the hero feels guilty for having killed.
Again, it's interesting how they're trying to respect so many of the typical superhero, tropes and canonicities, while still trying to maintain the more serialized cop show aesthetic.
I will say that the hero tropes are definitely a lot more emphasized in Season 2 compared to Season 1. Not necessarily at its detriment, but whoa!
And a ticket to the Soviet Union.
And since this is post-World War II, since Nazis were no longer the biggest worry was communists at the time.
The Red Scare and all.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke about, so this is how the Soviet Union eventually died. It just hid everything under their mattress.
Well, Dweebs, do you know what the best way to keep a secret is?
Don't.
That. Or also put it under
say nothing?
nose. Woody, what are you doing here?
There's a snake in my boot, and he's about to be more alive than you, partner.
Oh god, if I put up instead a Murder, She Wrote episode, I know one that starts identically to this.
Live action Undertale Yellow is looking a little different to what I expected.
The part of Flowey will be played by Joe Pantoliano.
Dang it, we can't have Brits in our Wild West picture. It's historically inaccurate.
Get these tea drinkers out of here.
Hey, Howard. A movie based on a comic book sounds like a dreadful idea.
Okay, let me check if Kid Colt actually was part of the Western lineup. Okay, I guess they couldn't talk about Black Tom Cassidy because he was still owned by Fox at the time. Remember, he was supposed to be the villain of Deadpool 2 before they decided to instead rely on the Juggernaut.
Interestingly enough, this will not be the last time we see Howard Stark in the world of Hollywood. Thanks, What If.
Yeah, so there it is. A kid called. Let me check when it was created.
Hmm.
So it's one of those groups where if even one bit of you is not American, you're not coming in.
Well, that and also, like, if you're not white enough, essentially. Reminiscent of the ever-idiotic one-drop rule from the old Jim Crow era.
And I'm sure electing people like Ronald Reagan as president helped out.
Jesus Christ. You
Go
got
over
a little,
crack
yeah. Don't worry, nothing a little glue can't solve.
Clearly.
Just get some wall plaster and,
Oh,
and
and he
put
gets
that in there.
absorbed in her. Anyway, yeah, I checked. Kid Colt was part of a Western lineup in the Golden Age, 1948, his first appearance.
Cute. Also, yes, it turns out it was her idea to frame Dr. Jason Wilkes.
that came out of nowhere. Are you okay there?
No, I'm fine. Also, hypothetical question, honey. Would you still love me if I went insane and tried to take over the world?
What an odd thing to say.
That's very it's very specific. I mean, I'd be with you if you wanted to take over the world, but being insane, we might need to talk about that.
Well, I promise I'm not insane.
Honey, how
Hey!
did
I
you
believe
jump
you,
from
honey.
worms to world domination?
Well, look at here. Now everyone's over in LA. We got the whole band back together.
So let me guess: is the last scene of this series going to be them going back to New York and it's being turned into a riot, burn, fire, hellhole because they've been gone?
That'd be awkward to put in a sequel hook, given that this is the last season.
Oh. Also, yes, the end of the 40s, right on the cusp of about to get the McCarthy trials.
Yep.
Fun fact for those who don't know, those are the reason Charlie Chaplin stopped acting for a very long time. Thanks, America.
Wow. He's the opposite of somebody who doesn't want to read the original source material. He's the guy who doesn't want to see the movie adaptation.
Also, I get it. I think I mentioned in the previous episodes, but I get it we're in LA, but my god, the bloom is cranked up just a bit more than in season 1.
Even he just said, "Turn down the sun, please."
Okay.
That was
How the-
improvised.
How the heck did Howard finally settle for a woman who turned out to be Tony's mom?
The world may never know.
Unless he had a harem thing going on, and that's part of why Tony is the way he is at the start of the MCU, which, in hindsight, might explain a bit.
He probably has several step-siblings.
I think we mentioned that in Season 1. Also, we need to remember one of the things that gets revealed in Civil War about Howard.
Why did you take his drink?
Just to be a dick. It's the equivalent of taking away the apple from someone that's about to eat it, you know.
But look at that.
Now don't you feel like a prick?
Well, look at that. The Chad Michael Murray actually did decide to watch it.
Zoom in and answer. Oh goody, it's the FBI asshole guy, which is also probably the agent's father.
Boy, everyone's just coming to the Western Coast.
He has quite the punchable face.
Yes.
The old guy.
I'm also getting a bit distracted by his cravat. His tie, basically. Again, this show has so many weird ties that I keep remembering instead Disco Elysium.
I'm actually not too surprised. We have a ton of very interesting necktie designs.
I think it's a worldwide thing. Someone thought it was a great idea to make weird, bizarre designs for tie as a whole.
And apparently it caught on.
He says that in front of the American flag. Subtle.
How much you want to bet this guy is one of the many, many, many Hydra sleeper agents that were just waiting for Captain America to...
To be fair, no, he's still in the FBI rather than in what will become S.H.I.E.L.D. So, again, we don't know what kind of level of corruptions the other secret societies in America do have, but there is speculation, at least for the MCU, that there is something going on.
To be
if Thunderbolts is anything to go by, some of them are still incompetent at the end of the day.
To be fair, Winter Soldier did establish that a few politicians were also sleeper Hydra agents as well.
I also need to do a double check on exactly who was revealed to be a Skrull in Secret Invasion.
Although, with how things have been going with Secret Invasion, I do wonder if Marvel are going to quietly consider that thing non-canon, since ever since Secret Invasion,
that's the thing that I'm not specifically Secret Invasion, but it's the thing that I'm dreading in general, that Marvel chickens out and deems any movie and product that wasn't quote-unquote deemed good enough by the audience. Oh, it's just part of the multiverse where similar events happen, but diverge in this case.
I kind of agree. I hated when Sega did their delisting of Sonic titles. I'm glad they walked that back. Like, yes,
also, I think
Sonic 06 was...
guy on the left. Sorry, go on.
Yes, Sonic 06 was bad, and Sonic Unleashed was rough, but the whole delisting and trying to pretend like that never happened, nah, just don't.
Not to mention...
Even bad games deserve preservation.
Not to mention, if you still want to consider Secret Invasion non-canon, you still have to resolve the stinger that is at the end of, you know, Spider-Man Far From Home. No, yeah, Far From Home.
I will say, I think...
Women in the club, most unorthodox.
He has introduced chaos and disorder to the natural order.
Let me guess. What did Tony buy the? Did Tony? Sorry, not Tony. Did Howard buy the club?
Probably.
That would be funny if he did just pull a Bruce Wayne move like that.
Although it is kind of funny about the hypocrisy that you know the patrons themselves don't seem to mind.
Yeah. Was there ever any order in the first place?
Well, it's the 1940s, so that trick might actually work this day and age. Shake him.
They got
stirred.
Yeah, they got poor Jarvis having to prepare the drinks. Oh, of course
it's... That guy in the
background okay?
$10 she hides in the suit of armor at some point.
I mean, it's a bit too bulky to try in a hurry, but yeah, it's a good spot for the device, I guess. Oh,
Well, the suit was useful.
yeah, we saw this room in one of the previous episodes as the secret council of evil people.
Basically, the people who really run the politics of America and all that jazz.
We also I'm checking. I mean, it's Lee's sex scandal topical,
Yes.
but
But wait a minute! It's said ahead of time. How could they know something that's going to happen?
Also, I was checking
It's a time-traveling newspaper.
Also, was checking the white shot, and several of the glasses were still half full. These bastards ended their meeting without Jesus, without even finishing their fucking drinks. What animals?
I mean,
That
why would you?
alcohol's probably
Why would you?
expensive too.
Why would you? Why would you leave the meeting like this without Jesus anyway? What you said the first time.
They're that rich they can afford to. It's a power move.
Uh-oh.
I feel like there's something creeping up on me. Almost like there's a spark behind the chair, but...
Yes.
Someone smoking in here?
Yeah, it's surprisingly no ashtray on the table. You think that for these kind of people, they would be also chain smokers. But to be fair, I guess it's a thing that this was the time period where, they were not limiting, but, not being excessive in showcasing people smoking for shows and movies aimed at a relatively young audience.
Plot twist, they're the men smart enough to know that smoking kills.
Yeah, sure. It's that kind of dichotomy. They're some of the worst people ever, but at least they don't smoke. That's how good the PSA is.
Yeah, oh god, American accents again.
At this point, you need to get used to it, Dwebs.
Yeah.
Hey, you got the women out of your club, just like you wanted, you sexist prick.
The origin of the incel.
Also, Chad Michael Murray literally is having the Phoenix Wright outfit. Red tie, blue tuxedo. There you go. It's even the dark shade of blue that Phoenix has. Not as electric blue, but close enough.
Like the movie Blue kind of thing. Show us your badge.
This is the seventh time you did that.
Imagine.
Ouch. Also, he needs to get the badge, I guess.
I hate Los Angeles anyway.
Let us not stick to Los Angeles. It is a silly place.
How has no one else ever
Yeah, I was
noticed
about to
this
say,
yet?
nobody has noticed it until this point. Yeah, as a reminder, she was also partially,
She was in
exposed.
the area.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not a particularly useful superpower as well, I would have to say. Like, I'm sure you can find a utility, but still. Yeah, no. Needs some work.
That's interesting, though. Apparently, not everything rises around her.
Maybe an object that's sufficiently heavy cannot. Yeah, and remember one of the side effects, the fact that people start to become literally ice.
Look, it's the Stark thing where they like to be the smartest person in the room, Peggy.
Hello and welcome to Physics with Howard Stark.
Shut up, you have
Lesson
to learn
1.
something.
Yeah. Lesson 1. How long can you stomach my smugness before you leave the room?
Hopefully sooner before they want to punch you.
Poor guy.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, were how films were made back in the day.
Yeah.
The humble brag.
Well, not always.
Oh.
Hello.
Wait a minute. He's not dead.
He's alive.
Oh.
Oh.
But he's not quite all there.
Became some sort of a ghost kind of thing.
So basically, see me now spray in a can.
This is more akin to what the character of Jason Wilkes was in the actual comics, having this kind of, intangibility. In the comics, he was turned like this thanks to instead an invisibility ray rather than an explosion, but you get the gist. Again, it's the series, despite not being super direct, still trying to, get to something, akin to the comic versions. It's interesting because Jason Wilkes is not even that much of a particularly super developed character in the Marvel comics, so they went for something that was relatively obscure.
I do feel like one thing that the MCU was good for was taking some of the much more obscure characters and
Well,
actually giving them more of a presence.
Yeah, it was a one-off in Tales of Suspense, which I think oh, it wasn't even tied to Thor at this point. So I think it was more of an anthology. Yeah,
Damn
comics.
it, he picks up the water gun instead.
Comics back in the day, both for Marvel and DC, had a lot of anthology series that did not focus on one of their flagship characters, but just wanted to tell a story. Like for DC, it's Midnight, the Witching Hour. DC had a lot of horror host comics for some reason.
I think it was for the collab factor.
Just also for the case of, wanting to experiment with things. It wasn't until The Sandman when they were completely canonized into the DC universe as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice. Then
and
there's
there's
no
no
time
time
to
to
waste.
Yeah.
How many times has Peggy been thrown off the SSR?
It's the classic, cop mechanic with, you're a loose cannon, Peggy. I got the mayor on my ass.
The job security is worse than the Jetsons.
That's...
Oh, I'm sorry. We seem to have been transported into grainy filter for that split second back
I guess
there.
that was actual stock footage of LA in the 40s.
I guess, but I feel like that's the first time they did that this season. Imagine. Ah, interesting you mention a migraine.
They're never what they seem.
Uh,
Are you? Are you really?
yes, this is why you will get remembered by the time Endgame shows up.
Just funny in a meta sense that this is sort of technically not canon, dubious canon. And not even mainly due to the show's own fault, it's because it has kind of irreparable ties to
Agents
Agents
of
of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
yeah.
that stuff's definitely non-canon. Like, even before the announcement, with how crazy it got by, like, Season 7, we had stuff like, let's see, the evil Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Evil Coulson, Graviton, the weird Thanos time
Ghost
future
Rider.
stuff. Okay, Ghost Rider was a bit questionable. Like, some people thought, oh, that's what they're doing with him. But yeah, no, they had, like, everything in the kitchen sink at that point. But don't get me wrong, I appreciate how crazy it could get to show how the Marvel Universe could be, but I feel like at times it felt like these were kind of leftover Avengers plots that they just couldn't do because the actual Avengers weren't there.
Well, what?
Oh, no. Please,
Are
stop that.
what are you, a shipper on deck? Thanks for reopening old wounds, friend. Next time, baby.
Well, he's not going to get recast. That's the issue with saying that.
That line, man, like, again, it goes without saying, but
Last
gosh
seen
darn it.
online 3,000 days ago. Sorry, 300. Yeah, 3,000.
Are you really?
Look, can't a woman simply ask her husband to make sure that a woman is found dead out in the street with no suspicion tied to me? It's a simple request, dear.
Like,
Just
put her in the
say she
river or
had a.
something. That's been a theme.
Well, hey, just make it out that they had a heart attack.
This is not Death Note with.
Hey, who's threatening who now? Not a single actual tear fell.
Yeah, we're trying to play up the idea of, oh, see, her mask in this is how she's able to act with the others, which, yeah, I get it, but, I did like the fact that she was named Madame Mask in the comic was just because she had a golden mask to hide her identity during Maja, meetings. That's it.
I do wonder if this is the MCU's tendency at play to try and
Okay,
give
I have to
deeper
admit,
meaning
I
to a
haven't checked
villain here
how
and
she is
there.
in the Ultimate Universe. Let me see.
Oh, she's in the Ultimate Universe.
Probably
This ought
she
to be
has to
good.
be. Let me check. Whitney Frost. Okay, no, she
And
doesn't. She actually wasn't in the Ultimate Universe. Okay.
but yeah, I do wonder if it's them trying to go, well, her simply having a mask is too small, so let's give deeper reasoning. In the drink.
Miss Carter, are you going? Why are you going for a sweat? Oh, Jesus! Your mask is slipping.
I mean, it's a balaclava, so those are not particularly good to hide your identity, unless you're
I mean, they're better than those Japanese ones that I've seen.
unless you're in
Admittedly,
Counter-Strike. Enemy spotted.
admittedly, these were the 40s at least, so usually a mask was all you really needed, before we got stuff like facial recognition technology and the like.
Watchmen, both the comic and the movie do mention that. The other two mention that, for their cases, the idea of costume superheroes came up with the fact that, the criminals were using masks to hide their identity, so, the law enforcement started doing that almost was for two, and it snowballed from there.
Hmm. Yeah.
He was in the Amazon forest researching spider. Oh wait, no, wrong.
Oh God!
Oh, I love that line didn't even make it into the movie yet. That's
No,
probably the
because
thing people are going to remember the
similar to
most.
the letters of the snowman, in this case, Sony went, oh shit, damage control, and thought that including that in the movie would have been detrimental after people mocked it in the trailer. They never
I'm pretty
were.
sure the Mr. Police stuff was still in that movie.
Only superficially. Like I said, there's more letters were supposed to show up, including the one that was used in promotional material.
The funny thing is with Madam Web, it was so futile because A, you just made the movie less fun, and B, sorry, but the Oscars picked up on it and ran it. Oh boy, it says something when your movie is so bad that the Oscars in the same year dog on you. Even Cats took longer before the mainstream made fun of it. Madam Web, oh no, mainstream was all over it.
I know they won the Razzies for that year, but I forgot about what the competition was. I think Borderlands was including that, but I'll check it another time.
Perhaps that was part of Madam Web's prediction that we would all see that movie twice. In our nightmares and at the Golden Raspberries. Kind of sucks from his perspective. Well.
I love it.
It's like a mask.
I love it. It's, Whitney Frost herself thought it was a Peggy, that one that would have discovered her, but in the end it was even Sousa. Her cover was that flimsy. Also, just to mention, like I said, the mask for the comic version was not to have any special powers, but it did conceal still some scars that she had. She was having a bit of a Doctor Doom kind of ego that she did not want it to appear with scars in public meetings, so she fashioned herself that. Again, it's a shame because her comic design really is that striking. But again, this is early MCU we're talking about, so...
Oh my god, Peggy was right.
Yeah. Well, gee, what a shock. She was right.
And I told her, piss off.
You guys have been through this cycle, what, 10 times at this point now? Oh god, we were talking about Catwoman 2004 earlier.
The next thing that we're missing is him trying to slap her and actually breaking his hand, like the Merovingian did.
But he apparently did stand by her, unlike in Catwoman.
I think he senses the vibes are off.
Uh-oh.
Well, okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Oopsie poopsie.
Yeah, that's definitely a power the comic Madame Mask did not have.
So she's an Absorbaloff.
But wait, look, her scar is not there anymore.
You're only supposed to steal souls, not the entire person.
Just to be sure.
So you see it.
Oh
wait, no, it's still there.
If anything,
it's just moved?
It's cracking a bit more.
Well, let's see. Now you have officially murdered a man by your own hand, and yeah.
Still, things are not particularly sunny for her, so we'll to see how long she can keep up the facade. Other than that, this episode was fine. Again, continuing. Again, I'm glad that they dropped most of the comedy from, episode 1. Trust me, it's not over with that. But at the very least, we're trying to have more of a tone that is more similar to season 1 overall.
This is one of the better episodes for season 2.
Yeah, this episode felt more focused. It again goes back to the strengths of season 1, acknowledging definitely the problems of the country at that time, essentially, with the profiling, and of course assuming that, hey, this or that who doesn't get with the program is a communist and all that. Hopefully things turn out, especially since now the Chad Michael Murray realizes that, once again, Peggy was onto something. To think of a special apology for this one.
Oh well, we'll see what happens, I guess, in the next episode, which is called Smoke and Mirrors. Oh no, is the Jackal gonna show up? No, please.
Got it. If I had a nickel for every time Marvel has had a storyline called Smoke and Mirrors.
All right.
See ya.